You look at sports like the NBA, you prefer to think about the athletes and the skills that they have on the basketball court. You prefer to just watch the games and cheer for your favorite teams and not necessarily subscribe to all the not so nice things that can happen on a court. Sadly, the NBA players are human, and that means they can make mistakes, even when that mistake is cheating with another player's spouse. It's not cool. And it's not fun to talk about, but here are 7 NBA athletes caught cheating with a teammate's wife. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. 7. Andrew Bynum. Given who Bynum was on the court, this honestly shouldn't be too much of a shock that this allegation still hovers around him. The talented big man was an all-star and 2-time NBA champion on Kobe Bryant's Lakers teams, but his career remains widely considered a disappointment in light of weight issues, knee issues, and dedication questions that left him out of the league before his 27th birthday. Whether laughing upon getting benched for attempting a three-pointer, smiling in the immediate aftermath of a tight playoff loss, or rehabbing his knee at the Playboy Mansion, Bynum's maturity and attitude were regularly called into question, including an allegation that he slept with his coach's wife. Not cool. The incident, which involved then Cavaliers assistant coach Jamal Mosley, is believed to have transpired while both player and coach were in Cleveland, which then resulted in an immediate suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. Not long after that, he was out of the league for good, and that's not surprising. His career overall has been tarnished despite being a 2-time title holder. But when your off-the-court stuff becomes bigger than your on-the-court stuff, yeah, that gets noticed. 6. Jeff McInnis. If you don't remember Jeff McInnis, he was a solid player from the University of North Carolina, won Player of the Year there, and then went on to be NBA Rookie of the Year. So, what did he do? Well, at just 21 years of age, McInnis reportedly carried out an affair with the wife of Coach Phil Ford, who was 18 years his senior. Despite denials on the part of the young point guard, the rumors continued to linger. McInnis would later acknowledge that he may have gotten caught up in a big hug from Ford's wife, but that was it. Interestingly, both McInnis and Ford ultimately made their way to the NBA in the years following the rumored incident. So what was this, or what wasn't it? We likely will never know, and that's probably for the best, but something definitely happened and no one really wants to confirm anything, which in this case is probably for the best. 5. Karl Malone? By the standards of this list, things mercifully didn't get very far between Karl Malone and Vanessa Bryant during the mailman's lone season with the Los Angeles Lakers in 2003 to 2004. In fact, there is little evidence to suggest that things between Malone and the wife of Kobe Bryant extended beyond some flirty banter. But when you've got one all-time NBA great eyeing the wife of another, it'll certainly get basketball people talking, which of course it did in spades. So the story goes, Vanessa happened upon Malone clad in a cowboy getup one day and said, "Hey cowboy, what are you hunting?" Malone was supposedly quick to respond, "I'm hunting little Mexican girls." To be fair, Malone's comments hardly seem to be overtly sexual, even though it's weird. Vanessa isn't entirely innocent in the interaction, but the veteran power forward should have known better than to mess with the wife of his team's central star. Kobe, for his part, wasn't shy about openly expressing his displeasure over the comments made from a teammate who had also been a close friend. The Lakers didn't suffer much from the rift, still reaching the NBA Finals, but the relationship between the two men was never the same. And that's why you have to be 100% on your game in terms of what you say, else cause problems. There were 1,000 different things that Malone could have said, but he made that crack and as a result, problems happened. 4. Shaq. When you picture Shaq in your mind, you no doubt picture the NBA All-Star who has a great personality and flair for the theatrical. But you also likely know that he's a flirt, and that got him in trouble one time in a big way. Details remain murky over just what went down between Gilbert Arenas, Shaquille O'Neal, and Arenas' fiancée, Lauren Govan, back sometime around 2010, but social media posts by Arenas at the time certainly point to some bedroom antics taking place, if you get our drift. If anything did happen between Govan and O'Neal, it isn't as though the big Aristotle would have been interfering in a blissful union. Arenas and Govan underwent a tumultuous partnership plagued by subpoenas and disputes over child support and payments. But you still don't mess with a fellow NBAer's girl. There's a code here, and it may have been broken. The messy allegations once again came to light recently as Arenas engaged in a custody battle with his now ex-wife. An explicit and outspoken Instagram post from Agent Zero used the hashtag #ItchyO'Neal, implying not only that Shaq slept with Govan, but that he also gave her an STD. Arenas certainly has reason to be suspicious of the affair, given that a text exchange allegedly between the two that had come to light. You can choose whatever side of this you want, but it's clear that something ain't great. 3. Shannon Brown. The 2011 Western Conference semifinals saw the Dallas Mavericks steamroll the Los Angeles Lakers in a series sweep so one-sided that it prompted questions about what had gone wrong with the defending NBA champions. Particularly underwhelming for the listless Lakers was Pau Gasol, who averaged just 13.1 points per game in the series and looked so uninterested that coach Phil Jackson felt compelled to yell at the Spaniard on the sideline. Gasol's disappointing performance, coupled with the team's general lack of cohesion, sparked speculation over whether teammate Shannon Brown had shacked up with Gasol's fiancée, Sylvia Lopez Castro. Brown, who was married to R&B singer Monica, was said to have slept with Castro midway through the season, with Gasol learning of the affair right before the postseason began. Apparently, Castro had gotten into something of a catfight with none other than Vanessa Bryant, suggesting that Kobe's wife had slept around, an allegation that prompted Vanessa to turn the tide and out Castro's cheating ways. This was said to have led to a full-blown locker room brawl between Gasol and Brown, not to mention fracturing the engagement of Gasol and Castro and sending team morale into a downward spiral, which played out badly, as we noted. There's nothing worse in an NBA locker room than a lack of cohesion in the playoffs, and sleeping with another man's fiancée, yeah, that'll get the cohesion to disappear. But we're still not done with the Lakers and their crimes, believe it or not. 2. Derek Fisher. There was a break in the monotony of the usually drab NBA training camp media coverage back in 2015 when reports emerged about an enraged Matt Barnes driving 95 miles from Memphis Grizzlies camp to, according to sources, beat the S out of Derek Fisher at Barnes' own house. The beef between the two NBA vets has been long-standing and has been forged on and off the court. Off the court, the feud is a deeply personal one, centering on reality TV star Gloria Govan, the girlfriend of Fisher and the ex-wife of Barnes. It was the relationship between Fisher and Govan that sparked Barnes' rage-filled cross-state trek in October 2015 as the hard-nosed forward reportedly grew livid when his twin 6-year-old sons told him that Fisher was at the house. In an incident that was investigated by the NBA, Barnes and Fisher apparently exchanged punches at the house in a fight that was significant enough to attract the attention of local police. Fast forward 2 years, Fisher and Govan remain together, and Barnes still doesn't seem terribly fond of his one-time Los Angeles Lakers teammate. Not hard to see why. 1. Paul George. There's a bit of a mystery regarding NBA player Roy Hibbert. He seemed destined for greatness and then fell off the map, as it were. But there may be one reason it happened like it did. His teammate got personal with his wife. It was back in Indiana, where Hibbert enjoyed his best years, that suspicion began to percolate regarding the relationship his wife, Valerie Cook, had with the team's star, Paul George. Now, PG-13 isn't entirely new to sex scandals, having reportedly impregnated a Miami stripper while dating the daughter of Los Angeles Clippers coach Doc Rivers and getting caught up in a catfishing scandal. Though neither Hibbert nor George have paid lip service to it, the rumored affair is said to have even set off a fight between fellow Pacers Lance Stephenson and Evan Turner. Turner apparently took exception to Stephenson speaking openly about the situation at practice, prompting fists to fly. George is still in the NBA and getting paid big for the Clippers, making this story more of a tragedy than anything else. So, what do you think? What do you think of this deep dive into the personal lives of certain NBA stars who have gone and done some terrible things off the court, or were alleged to have done such things? Which of these players do you feel less positive toward now that you know this about them, or does this not affect you at all in terms of what you think of them? Do you know other players who are alleged to do these types of things? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.
Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakadash, WLC, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, peace and blessings to the brothers that push this truth to the four corners. To the brothers and sisters that listen and believe in this truth. Right? You people that look like the other nations, but are Israel through your father's seed, right? You people on this island here, Trinidad, you are the Lord's chosen people, right? And not forgetting the house of David, right? The elect, the Bayat Yawada. Okay, this is Daniela from Trinidad Camp, and I'm doing I came across this video, and I said I'll do a video on it. As you can see, these big stars, these big basketball stars, you would think that they have a lot of money, and they would have their woman, they would have their woman in check, but they can't even have themselves in check. They all sleeping with one another's wives, interfering with one another's wives. Even with all this money that the so-called white man has given to them, they still go about, and well, as the video say, they have a code, but they break the code, and they also be breaking the Most High laws, which is a sin, right? Sleeping with another man's wife is a sin unto death. You could be put to death for that. So I'm going to bring out a few scriptures on it. And hopefully it is this video is edifying. Okay. Let me pull up a few scriptures. Oh, right. Firstly, so okay. Firstly, I'm gonna go to pull out the law on it. You go to the law and see, right? Our people love to be in sin. They love these acts of sleeping with one another's wives, and these women are wicked. These women, they know what they're doing. This is Deuteronomy 5:21. I'll read from 19. Neither shall thou steal. No, Salaki, I'll read from 18. Neither shall thou commit adultery. Neither shall thou steal. Right? Because you're going with another man's wife, what you're doing, you're stealing. Right? Neither shall thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. Neither shall thou desire thy neighbor's wife. Neither shall thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. You people, you keep breaking the Most High laws. You understand? And as the scripture says, folly is set in great dignity. You boast about it. As it's something so great you do. Exodus 20 and 17. It says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant. And the same Lord as Deuteronomy says, come and says it here in Exodus again. Yeah, it's a sin on it's a transgression unto death. Right? Let's get let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus 9. Yeah, because these rich athletes, they have beautiful women, but you have you being you would think that, hey, when you're watching the world, right? The world is populated with more women than men. Why would you, with all that money, look upon another man's wife? You know, just look for your own. And these women are not honest. These women are not. They're not innocent either. You know, women, they're not innocent. You know, it's Sirach 9. Read from 6. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thy inheritance. You give up your crown. Don't don't give up your soul to these women and lose your crown. Look not around, look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary place thereof. Turn away thy eye from a beautiful woman. And it's not saying that not to look at women. They're talking about this talking specifically about a man's wife, right? The beauty of another man's wife. Turn your eyes away from it, right? Turn away thy eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, and herewith love is kindled as a fire. Right? That is because you're staring at another man's wife and you're lusting over her. Understand? Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Yeah, don't buy drinks and sit with another man's wife and be drinking, you know what I mean? The scripture say, well, fall into destruction. One day you're gonna find out, and things are gonna go sour. Things are gonna go bad, because that woman belongs to another man. Okay? Forsake not the old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. Another thing, a woman could never be a man's wife, but that's another topic, you know what I mean? Especially a man's wife could never be your friend. Stop doing it. Stop doing these things. Stop sitting with them. Stop. Look not on this is why Jake has hate for each other. This is another reason. These women gonna make you men kill each other. You understand? Let me go to the Proverbs and see what the Proverbs has to say. Proverbs 6. 29. I wanna go I wanna go to 32, but I'll see what 29. Hey, what's that for? Right. As I was saying, a lot of these men wives are whores. They are not innocent in this act. Because they know they're married to these men, and they flirt around with other men. You understand? It say Proverbs 6 and 25, last not after beauty of thine heart, neither let her thine eyelids. Okay, this goes into the wicked woman, which is twofold. It speaks about wisdom, you know. For the means of a whorish woman is bought to for the means of a whorish woman, a man is bought to a piece of bread, and an adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burnt? Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burnt? So he shall so he that goeth unto his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. You see that? Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. Yeah, yeah, he is considered as a thief. You understand? Okay? Yeah, it's considered a thief and you will not be innocent. You know what I mean? You go on to another man's wife. But he, okay, then I reach 31. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. Right? That is he's supposed to pay back, you know, for doing this act. If both of you are found guilty in this act, you know what I mean, you have to give back to the man sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whosoever committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. Yeah. Men that sleep around with other men's women, you lack understanding, because guess what? It's spiritual also, because women, you know, they take in the DNA of men. When you sleep around with another man's woman, it means that it come like you remember that that man, that woman joined together by what? By sex. And that's another video, you know what I mean? But they are joined together. The DNA of that man is in that woman. Now you're gonna put yourself with that woman, you know what I mean? It's liable. You probably, if the man has an STD, if the woman's wife has an STD, you might pick up that STD from him. You know what I mean? It's not lawful to touch another man's wife, you know, or go into her, you know, go on to another man's wife, right? You could even die doing it, you know what I mean? You could even die going into another man's wife. You know, they continue. I'll show you. Watch. To the cheek, a wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. You see? It says jealousy is the rage of a man. That man might come home and meet you, you know, with his wife, and anything could happen. You might end up dead. As you know, it happens so many times. Or argument might pursue, you know, might break out between the spouse and the husband. The husband and the wife, so like, you know, argument might break out and something might happen, you know what I mean? No one knows, but yo, it's all because it's interfering of men, each other's woman, you know what I mean? This society teaches you that woman could do their own thing. No, they can't. Right? When a woman lays with a man, right, she is joined on to that man. She is you know, she belongs to him. You know, and men value women when men value women, you know what I mean, as their glory. So when you go on to another man, woman, hey, that gonna bring jealousy on that man and rage, right? You know, and with that, you know, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakodash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the brothers that push this truth to the four corners and to the brothers that listen and live on this truth. This is Daniela from Trinidad Camp. I hope this lesson was edifying again. Say until next video, I say shalom.